Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Awkwardly Animated here, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. As you all know, I don't really do unscripted content that much, but today is a special occasion because I have a guest. I have with me the Masked Man. If you want to introduce yourself, go ahead.
I want to die. No.
Okay, well, for context, you might have either came from his video, or if you're first time seeing this video, I recommend you go to his channel and watch the previous video because we recorded that one first, and you would know exactly why he feels dead inside right now. So basically we had a bit of an idea, but before I go with that, I just want to mention, because in his video he talked about, some of the shows and mangas he's reading / watching, so I'm gonna do the same thing here. It's the spring season, so I'm watching My Hero, obviously, just like everybody else. I'm watching the Vivi Flora Ice Song show, which is pretty good. Tokyo Revengers is good. I mean, you already know these shows are good. What I do recommend, though... What? Okay. Well...
Let's go.
What I do recommend, though, we already know everyone's watching My Hero and everyone's getting into Tokyo Revengers. I do recommend people check out Odd Taxi. I think that's a sleeper show that people are not really too big on. So if you haven't seen Odd Taxi, definitely check that out. And as far as manga I'm reading, I just recently picked up 2. I know one of which Maskman will be proud of me here because I finally decided to open up the Berserk volumes, because after the recent passing, obviously, I felt a little ashamed that I had 4 of the giant collector's edition volumes sitting on my shelf. Didn't even open them not once. But now I finally have started. I've actually just finished the first book, so I'm moving into book 2. The big one, which I think is like volume 5 or 4 or something like that. I'm also reading a new manga. Well, it's not new. I'm reading one called After the Rain. I just found out about it, picked it up randomly while I was at Barnes & Noble's, and I love it. So I definitely recommend both of those. But that's not what we're here for today. We're here for Battle Club. And if you haven't heard of Battle Club, I don't blame you. It is one of the worst things that I have ever put in front of my eyes. All right. Battle Club is a manga about exactly what you think it is. It's people in school and they're battling. It's club time. Now, the way we decided on reading these mangas is essentially we had an idea where I would pick out the trashiest manga that I could find and I would send it his way, and he would do the same thing and send it my way. So I unfortunately have Battle Club, and let me tell you, I was not greeted with a happy sight. The very first page,
Yeah, boy.
very first page, I see parental advisory on the cover. I've never even seen this like on a manga ever. So this was already
Really?
shocking to me. Nah, I've never seen this. Like,
Well, so
what?
certain manga, if you go to buy them, for instance, on the cover of like the Berserk volumes, if you go to Barnes and Noble, there will be a parental advisory like sticker on the wrapping. But
Okay. Actually, no, I did see a R18 or 18 plus something on there. Like you know how you see it on like album covers? That parental advice, that's what I saw. And I was like, I've never seen this on like on a manga cover before, but
Oh, okay.
yeah. So out the gate, turn the page 1. What do I see? I see spread open legs and panty shots right out the gate. Already like, okay, so this is what we're in for. I'm glad they already started with that just so I know right off the gate what I'm dealing with here, but I'm just letting you all know this is straight up porn. This is not what you think it is. Now, it is essentially like any battle shonen that you've ever seen. I mean, it follows the same tropes, but it has the ecchi stuff all over the place. Like, the closest thing I can reference it to that I've seen is like Sekirei or whatever it's called, like the one with the girl fighting and stuff. It's very similar to that, but it's like, strictly just kind of wrestling and not just like traditional fighting. But basically it starts up, there's this dude, his name is Mokichi. He's like one of the lame kids at the school, but he wants to be the top dog. So he comes to the school and he challenges all the bullies, but he's not cool or has no fighting skills whatsoever. So he pulls up with a baseball bat and is literally just like beating unarmed people and thinking he's like justified or cool doing this. And he ends up getting destroyed, literally and figuratively. This girl, Tamako, she comes through and she literally just embarrasses him in front of the whole school. And obviously that does nothing for his reputation. And now he is pretty much at the mercy of the bullies at school. Now everybody hates him. They're all ragging on him. But he wants to be strong. He wants to be the top dog, but he wants to get there the right way. So he goes to the battle club and he sees the girl Tomoko there or whatever, and he's like, hey, I want to be trained. I want you to train me, help me learn how to fight. And from there it pretty much went downhill, like up until that point.
It sounds promising. Like that actually sounds kind of promising.
It did. Like it started out pretty nice, but like it just kind of plummets like out of nowhere. Like the quality just quickly, like eventually the author just didn't care anymore. He just said, how do we get these characters to fight each other in the most sexual way possible and just have this have it literally be nothing but that. That's literally what it is. To pull out some quotes, or a quote from the manga that really struck me. There's one here. It says, goodbye virginity, hello Tuna Town. Like I'll let you imagine what the context of that dialogue. I'll let you imagine what that is. But yeah, that was Tuna Town. So you can already try and picture whatever image is tied to that phrase. What's crazy about this manga, or at least the mangaka, is he's 100% self-aware of the ecchi and all this stuff, which at first was pretty cool. Like it's like, okay, there's some jokes poking fun at the viewer. It's like, oh yeah, you see what's going on here? Like, oh. But it's kind of weird though, because he'll break the fourth wall and he'll bring up the fan service, but he'll present it to you in a way that's like he's doing you a favor. Like, hey, yeah, you like the way I drew that, huh? Yeah, you like that. It's very weird and like creepy. Like it's like, all right, like strange. I'm not sure how I like that.
Yeah.
I've definitely never seen that before. Now, I don't really know anything about wrestling. Unfortunately, I didn't really grow up watching. I know, like, the fake-ish wrestling, but there's real stuff in there to an extent. So the manga, it seemed like it was teaching, somewhat real moves, real maneuvers. So I felt like I was learning something for a little bit until eventually you realize that, oh, this is not educational in the slightest, because the characters have some very, like, they fight dirty, and like dirty in not a good way. The best example I could give is like, well, to not get demonetized rather, is let's say that Naruto, for example. Let's say
no, wait, now say it and then just like bleep it out in the video.
Okay.
I you got to get my reaction to it at least.
Okay. So picture this, right?
Uh-huh.
You have your main character. They're wrestling. They're in a match. They're on their last legs. They're pulling all the strength that they have, but they just can't win.
Right.
But
right.
They have that one technique. It finally clicks in their head what they need to do to get this dub, this victory. And just imagine middle of the wrestling match. You're watching this. You're like, oh, they're gonna lose. There's no way. And then finger in the butthole. Yeah.
No way, bro.
Yes.
I would be fuming if I lost because of that.
Yes. And what's crazy is, so as a reader, when you see it happen, you're like, what? Like, is this legal? And then the characters, they treat this as a real, like, big brain move.
Genius.
Yeah. Like they're like, oh, like, and then they have counters for it. Like, oh, I'm gonna finger them before they finger me. And it's like, whoa, this is crazy.
When losing a fight, finger the butt.
Yeah, and like to tie back to the Naruto comparison, I was literally gonna say, like, it would be the equivalent of if Naruto was like fighting pain or something, and he's like all out of chakra, and he's like, you know what, 1,000 years of death, and then he just takes pain out like that, free, and it's like, whoa, okay, like that is the equivalent of what we've got in the manga here. Now, I could only bear 14 chapters of this. I couldn't go any further, so I pretty much finished, I guess, what would be the first arc. They're finally about to be trained by this like old perverted guy that just watches them wrestle. It's very strange. I don't know why anyone would go out of their way to watch this. Now, unfortunately, I did hear like your complaints about the Shaolin sisters. The art in this one actually isn't bad. I can give it that one compliment. The art is nice. It's something nice to look at, of course, because it's that ecchi stuff. So if you do like trashy manga, I don't know who would, but I guarantee you there's someone that's going to be in the comments and says, oh, I liked Battle Club. Maybe this is just the manga for you, man. I don't know. But yeah, if you guys want to check it out, go ahead. I will not be doing that, so don't expect any follow-up videos. But what you should do is you should check out the Masked Man's channel, because he has a video where we talk about Shaolin sisters. And if you know from the beginning of the video, that definitely did a number on him. So if you all want to check that out, then go ahead, click the link in the description. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Peace.
You left your mark. Yeah, you were here. You left your scar and disappeared. I feel